Ah,
Don't
okay.
괜찮아.
I can read it. 괜찮아, did you say it? Wow.
아,
괜찮아. 괜찮아요 is better.
괜찮아요.
괜찮아 is to
괜찮아요.
the friend. 음,
아, 네.
음, 괜,
괜찮아요.
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 Okay, I read
네.
again. After studying with this lesson,
Beautiful.
with
So
the
now,
lesson,
no, that's perfect. So you've got with this.
mm,
So when you pronounce lesson, it's la. So
what is right?
how could I
Lesson,
say it? So,
lesson,
yeah,
lesson.
that's
Okay, with
맞아요.
with this lesson.
Again, don't. Okay, don't don't look at the word. Don't look at the word. Close your eyes and read it in your head. Open your eyes, then read it out aloud. So close your eyes, think for a second, read it in your head. So imagine you saying it in your head. Then open your eyes and then say the words again. So give yourself that little break. Yeah, give yourself that little break. Don't rush, don't race. So there's no first prize here. We're only after perfection.
After studying with this lesson,
Perfect.
huh?
Perfect.
Perfect. Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes like when something is overloading in your brain and it's constantly overloading, just stop, close your eyes, open and forget everything, then start again. Because you want to clear it. Otherwise the old sound will stay in your head. So you have to
Okay.
close your eyes. Yeah, it's like clearing a memory bank.
Okay. I will do next.
Yeah.
You will be able to say things.
So the w is a strong sound. So
Will. Will is a strong sound.
yeah. So
You
the W,
will.
yeah. So
You
the
will be
ill,
able.
yeah, ill is a strong sound.
Not will. Ill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ill. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So will,
Will.
ill,
Will.
ill. Yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
You
Perfect.
will be able to.
Yeah.
You
Perfect.
will be able to say things.
Tongue.
Things. Okay. You will be
Better.
able to say things like
Better.
A is B or I am ABC in polite formal Korean.
So A, B, C
Mm.
is the same as
C,
the ocean, like
SEA, ocean. Yes,
yes.
C. Mm-hmm.
So pronounce C as you have to drag the E part. So C. So it's not sharp.
Ah, a
It's
little bit long.
yeah. To
C,
drag it a little. Yeah.
ABC.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, not ABC.
Yeah.
ABC.
So, yeah. That's another one where you have to take your time and say it slowly.
In polite formal Korean.
Nice. Okay, again, the whole thing.
After
Actually,
studying.
sorry, can you read it backwards? So start from Korean, formal, polite, and
I am ABC in polite formal Korean.
yeah. So start from Korean, formal, polite, in, C, B, A, M, I, or B is
Why?
A, because I need your tongue to rotate backwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Korean formal polite in CBA am I or B is A like things say to able be will you.
Carry on.
Lesson lesson this listen this with studying after.
Okay, so when you watch this video again, you will notice your pronunciation is improved. So now go forward. Read it again forward.
After studying with this lesson, you will be able to say things like A is B. Why are you laughing? Or I am
Because
ABC in polite formal Korean.
Because now that your brain has rotated forward, your pronunciation has gone from 20% to 90%.
20% improve, you mean?
Yeah, in pronunciation. So you were roughly around 20-30%. So after you did the reversal, you were roughly 75%. Then you're gone forward again, you're almost near 100%.
Oh, it's a new theory.
It's like what's the term? Reverse psychology.
You do that in Korean when you're studying Korean?
Yeah. Yeah. I do that for everything I learn.
Oh,
I do it backwards, then forward. No, if you watch the video again, you'll understand. It's hard to understand because you can only hear yourself.
yeah.
When you watch the video again, you'll understand.
Okay.
There's a huge difference. So we'll skip the next dialogue
Mm.
and we will move into the next page where it says in English.
Wow, long. In English, the verb to be is changed
And
to
when you say verb, your top teeth must touch your bottom lip.
verb. Verb.
There.
Verb. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
The verb to be is changed to am, are, or is, depending on the subject of the sentence.
Nice.
But in Korean, you decide whether
Perfect.
to use
Perfect.
이에요 or 예요, depending on whether the last letter
So the teeth there. So the T sound on the end must be strong. Must be a really strong T sound. So Northern Hemisphere, they pronounce it last, with the A. Southern Hemisphere, we pronounce it with A, last. So, I mean, if you're learning Northern Hemisphere, which is America, UK, I can teach that to you. That's all right. So ignore my pronunciation when I say it. If you're confused, just let me know because then I'll switch back to Northern Hemisphere. So
I think UK use last.
yeah, but 50-50.
Okay. And
If
American
as-
100% last?
Yeah.
And
Southern Hemisphere like Australia, New Zealand.
in Australia,
ours-
last.
Yeah. Yeah, because our vowels are R, E, O, U. So when you pronounce last or last, the T sound is always strong. It's still strong.
Always strong. Okay. Last.
Always. Yeah,
Last.
perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
The last letter of the, but this letter is not strong T.
No.
You say letter? No.
Yeah, letter.
Letter? You say
No,
letter?
your pronunciation is perfect.
Letter.
Yeah.
But letter in US.
It's still the same. It's still the same.
Yeah. A little bit weaker.
Yeah. So theirs is more of a D sound, not so much a T sound.
The last letter of the previous word ends
Perfect.
in a consonant or a vowel.
So with the word consonant, you've got to say con.
Consonant.
The N sound must be pronounced. And then sonant. So the S sound must also be pronounced clearly.
Consonant.
So it's con.
Con.
So like oh my. So
Con. You mean con or con?
Like, so it's like, how could I say that?
Con or con? Consonant. Dictionary.
Like O. So when you pronounce O, it's like oh. And then con.
Can.
Consonant.
Can or con. Consonant. Consonant.
Yeah.
Consta?
Oh, am I looking?
No T.
Oh, wrong word.
SO you want?
Consonant. Consonant.
Consonant. Consonant. Kan or con or con.
Don't say kan.
Kan?
Yeah, don't say that word.
Ah, not that. Okay. That dictionary is wrong.
Consonant. Consonant. The reason I say don't say kan, because if you pronounce it incorrectly, it becomes a rude word. So that's why I never pronounce con as kan.
Kan. Kan. Consonant.
Perfect. What am I doing? Not even paying attention. Consonant.
Consonant.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Consonant or a vowel. 이에요 and 예요 are very similar and also sound similar, so it is not a big problem if you mix up these two, but it is still better to know the correct forms.
Excellent.
But I
Have you
can't
noticed-
say like this. I just can read.
Yeah. But so the goal of this lesson for you would be the natural rotation of the TH sound. So your goal was the TH sound.
Mm.
Which you
Every
perfectly-
TH is
That.
the.
Okay,
Every
yeah,
TH,
so
like something, something, this, something. How do you say them? I like them.
perfect.
Oh,
This,
very hard.
like this, again, is a strong S sound with the S at the end. S. So
This.
Perfect.
This. Okay.
this.
I like- This is my cat.
Perfect.
I thought it was a dream.
Oh. Excellent. Excellent.
I
Excellent.
think.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, so the idea is to reverse reading is to get the tongue to roll back into a perfect position. If that makes sense.
When
Excellent.
you want to say that, it is
Excellent.
ABC in Korean, and if the word for ABC has a final consonant in the last letter, you add 이에요. However, if it doesn't have a final consonant,
Again, with the T sound on it, try and pronounce it
where
in a
is
strong
it?
Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
However,
that's perfect.
However, if it doesn't have a final consonant and ends in a vowel, you add 예요. This is just to make the pronunciation, right?
Excellent.
Pronunciation easier. So it will come naturally. Pronunciation.
C.
Pronunciation.
C.
Pronunciation.
Yeah. I don't.
Make the pronunciation
Excellent.
easier, so it will come naturally. Easier. Easier.
C.
Easy.
Yeah. Again.
Easier.
Perfect.
Easier.
Perfect.
How did I do that?
Because you're learning that, your tongue is learning to rotate into that position now.
Okay. Easier.
Yeah. Perfect.
Make the pronunciation easier, so it will come naturally. It will come naturally if you practice with some sample sentences.
Excellent. Excellent.
I never met the teacher.
Excellent.
Detailed checkup. Wow, I'm very happy.
Excellent. So easier, because easier is similar to this. That's the TH sound, because the tongue position, when you see it with your eyes, your brain automatically thinks, oh, this has to make a certain sound. The tongue just moves there. Again, that's why you learn to reverse read.
I think English makes my tongue is move more,
Yes.
movable, and sometimes it's tense compared to Korean. Korean pronunciation is a little bit softer. If I just say, than English,
Yeah,
like
it is.
C.
They
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So subtle is the word you're after. Subtle. So Korean language is more subtle.
Settle. You mean soft?
Yeah.
Ah. Settle. Subtle.
So it's a silent B.
Ah. Mm. Mm.
So
Ah.
Korean language is more subtle, whereas
Subtle.
English is more movement.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. So very good. That was very good. So what we'll do is, can you go back to the previous page
Mm-hmm.
and just read the last where it says Korean formal polite? Can you read that backwards for me, please? Just one more time.
Korean formal polite in CBA, MI, or B is A, like things, say to able be will you. Oh, I speak a little faster. like normal sentence. Oh, able be will you. Oh, I thought, is it right?
You even surprised yourself.
Listen this. Listen this. Listen this. Listen this with starting after. Oh.
Do you like
better?
that?
Do you think better?
Way better, much better.
Much
Now
better?
forward, please. Much.
Mm.
So when you're ready, just read normal.
After studying with this lesson, you will be able to say things like A is B or I am ABC in polite formal Korean.
Excellent. So when you rewind and play that again, you'll understand what reverse reading is all about.
Reverse reading makes us, I think, it's just used to the words in this sentence.
Yes.
I maybe with you, I read this sentence maybe 15 times, so it makes me, what the words are in here. So maybe that makes me easier.
And also, when you read it backwards, you notice that the spacing, the pause, is there. When you read it normal, your pause wasn't there before. So when you read it backwards, that's why you found it easier to just suddenly, I'm reading it easier. Because the pause, every time you pause between the words, it was the correct amount of pause. Which gave you time to pronounce. Yeah. So there you go. You learned something new today.
Wow.
We both did.
When can we meet again?
Maybe Friday. Because 3 o'clock is difficult for me.
A little bit late?
It's too late for me.
Too late? I'm homeschooling my daughter. So usually until 3 o'clock, actually in Korean time, I study with my daughter. So I couldn't make it a little bit earlier. Or we can meet very early in the morning, like 7 o'clock. In Sydney, 8 o'clock, if you are okay.
Yeah.
Daughter.
Yeah.
Daughter. So T sound would be better. Daughter. Not daughter.
No.
Americans do the daughter too?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They do both. They're like not North America, but the top half of America and the bottom half of America. They say daughter.
Daughter.
Yeah.
Daughter.
It sounds like a D. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Only in the morning is good for you?
So you're free 7 a.m. your time.
7 or 8 is yeah, okay. So
So what's
8 is your time is 9.
9? So from example, from the latest time, so 8 a.m. you can start and finish at 9 a.m. your time.
It depends on when, because some day I have piano lessons
No, no,
8 or 9 o'clock. They live in US, that's why I have
no, that's
lessons
fine.
early in the morning. But
That's fine.
example, tomorrow morning I don't have lessons, and
Tomorrow I'm not free.
yeah,
Thursday,
Saturday morning I'm free, and Thursday morning I'm free too.
Thursday I'm not free.
You're not free.
Yeah, but so sometimes I can do an evening. I mean, like the 3 p.m.
Evening I can do. Evening I
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah. So sometimes I can do 3 p.m. But just maybe once a week.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to choose, for example, one day of the week,
Uh-huh.
but like maybe Monday,
Uh-huh.
and then we could do a morning on Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever.
So I mean one day, so evening per week. One time evening,
Yeah.
and one time is so early in the morning.
Yeah.
So okay.
And then
Yeah.
and then Saturday doesn't matter. I'm available whatever time on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
This week Saturday morning I'm free. Next week I have 8 o'clock I have lessons, but after that I'm okay. So maybe this Saturday, how about 8 o'clock? In Sydney 9 o'clock. Is it okay?
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you're comfortable with on Saturday, we can
Saturday
do.
you are free.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do Saturday. Excellent.
Saturday 9 and you are 10 is okay?
That's fine with me.
Okay. Then
That's fine.
let's fix it. It's 9 o'clock.
So that's 9 p.m. 9
9
a.m.
a.m. You are 10 a.m.
So what is the
You are 10 a.m.
Ushi?
9시. 9시.
I hope she.
About time we use 하나 둘 셋 넷. So 9시.
I hope she.
But about the minutes we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9시 9분. If it's 9 o'clock 9 minutes, you say 9시 9분. It's yeah.
I know. Got it. Got it. And we can still continue using this. We can still continue using the in Korean. You happy with that?
Say that again, please.
The PDF that you sent me. Are you okay to still use that? You comfortable using
I prefer maybe reading books would be better, isn't it? I think like the Little Princess or some like the Matilda or some books. But but for people lessons, I will check you have that book too. Do you have many books in your house?
Probably not Matilda or the Little Prince. I think I've got the Little Prince. Yes, I do. I've got the Korean and English version. That is too difficult for me.
What? Matilda is difficult for you?
No, the Little Prince. I don't have
the Little Prince you don't have.
The Little Prince. Yeah, I have.
You have.
I have, but that's a difficult book.
Difficult?
Like, yeah.
Really?
So
just reading. How about just reading?
We'll read it. No, I'll bring it. We'll read it. Because I've got the Korean and English version.
You mean you want to read the Korean book?
Yeah.
No. I meant for me, for my English lessons. I want to read some maybe like the Little Princess or something. Would be better, I think. It's excellent. Okay.
No, it's
People
so if you want.
I want to let you know if you have that books, if I choose the books.
If you choose the book, what you do is take a snapshot of it,
Okay.
send it to me on Kakao.
Okay.
I can read it like that.
Okay.
So if you want to take a photo,
You
of,
do you have a Kakao Talk?
Yeah.
Ah, really?
or you can send it to me on Hello Talk. I think I can copy on Hello Talk.
Okay, maybe Kakao Talk would be easier. Do
Okay,
you
so
do you
I'll-
have your ID, Kakao Talk ID? Mine is
Yeah.
Teaser 24.
Teaser.
What is
Teaser.
teaser means?
It's a slang for tease, to tease someone.
Where? ID. What is someone?
To tease someone.
Tease someone.
To mock. To mock.
Yeah. Teaser 20. Is the green glass is you?
Yeah, 맞아요.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's a what that is. That is a lantern.
Okay. It's me. I sent you some emoticon.
Okay.
A bird.
I know. Awesome.
Mm.
But
we can copy this yeah. 복사
잠시만요.
복사 and where should I?
네.
So you are now okay about COVID? You are recovered? I recovered?
Good. So I might try and
ID. I always forgot my ID. KakaoTalk ID.
you're like me. I have to write mine down somewhere.
I need all the time the Evernote.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, so you copied everything?
Done.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm very happy to meet you. Before I meet you, I met one guy. Just don't have interest learning Korean.
oh,
So yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah, even I'm married. They do that. I don't understand.
Weird. That's weird. I know. So
No.
I generally don't message women. Purposely, I don't, because they think you're trying to go on a date. I know.
So your
I don't
profile
wanna-
was very good. It's very simple, but you say what you wanted to say. Don't ask me how are you? I'm doing
Yeah.
fine. So I was very funny.
Don't socialize it. I don't want to socialize.
And one thing, the first time when we chatting 2 hours long, after that I got a headache. But I couldn't tell you. So after that, you wanted to Zoom, but I wanted to too, but I got a headache, so I didn't know where it come from. So yeah, I recognized it was the English 2 hours long English
No, too long.
flute,
Too long.
English flute.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
long.
was
too
very
long.
much. Yeah, so I got a headache of that. But
Yeah.
did the day after you got a COVID?
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. It was like almost 3 weeks of COVID.
Oh,
It was terrible. So
uh-huh.
my body is like is still sore. Like I'm still aching.
Oh.
Yeah, like all muscle pains around on this side of my
Really?
body. Yeah.
Did you get the vaccine?
Yeah, I've got the vaccine. I took the vaccine.
3 times?
Nah, still no good.
I don't trust the vaccine, so I didn't get the shot.
Oh, it's
Nothing.
yeah.
안 받았어요. 네.
Oh,
I don't trust that. Because
oh,
it's too short time. Actually,
yeah.
it should be experiment to 10 years long, but
No, no,
just
I
1 year,
understand.
so I couldn't trust it.
Yeah,
Too
makes
dangerous.
sense.
So yeah. So like you, even got the vaccine, they got the
Yeah,
COVID. So what's that?
waste of time. Waste of
After the vaccinated, didn't you got
time.
any the
Side effects.
side effects?
Side effects.
Did you
No,
had?
no
No?
side effects.
Oh, you are okay. But
Side effects. No side effects. Like, no side effects.
many Koreans has side effects. So I
Oh,
worried
really?
about that. Yeah, yeah. In news, some people died even. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. In Australia too. But why you don't the foreigners they're living in other lands? Why
Yeah.
they don't have the news about that? I don't understand.
In
Many people
Australia,
died.
I think there was only 5 people who died from the vaccination.
Just 5 people?
Yeah.
No, it's
On the
more
media,
than.
on the media,
Yeah, on
in
the
the
media.
media.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. The government just say 2 or 3, but we say
Yeah.
it's over 1,000, and over 10,000 people are in hospital. They can't recover.
Yeah, they can't. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Mm,
Terrible. It's
mm.
terrible. Oh, 질문 있어요.
Yeah.
Your daughter
Huh?
is learning? What is your daughter learning? You said you're home tutoring your daughter?
What is butter?
Daughter.
Water. Water.
Daughter.
Water. Ah, you mean the drink? Or
아니요.
물?
아니요.
Not a daughter. Yeah.
So, what are you teaching her?
It's homeschooling. So math.
Everything? Everything.
Math, Korean, and in English too. But her pronunciation is better than me. But I know many words than her. Yeah.
몇 살이에요?
아,
맞아요?
네. 몇 살이에요? 한국 나이로 11살이에요. You know the age system, Korean age system is different than Western culture. After gave birth in Korea, the baby suddenly became 1 year old because we think the pregnant time is almost 10 months. Yeah, it's almost 1 year. So we think it's already 1 year, 1 years long. They stayed in the womb. So after the birth, they become 1 year old.
Hey.
That's why we are a little bit 1 year older than American age.
Okay.
So when I studied in Germany, I became 1 year old younger. But when I come back to Korea, 1 year older.
Oh, wow.
So that's why in American age or in Korean age, I always explain. So
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, Korean age 11 years old, but in Australia age 10 years old. So what funny thing is, if Korean baby was born December 31,
Yeah.
1 year old, but the next day after the birth, he will become 2 year old. Can you imagine just 2 days after the birth, he can become 2 years old?
Okay, that's too confusing.
Yeah, too confusing. And Korea is the only country using this system. So some young people don't like that because it's too complicated.
No.
So every New Year's, January 1st, every Korean 1 year older. Can you imagine?
So
Not after the birthday.
Yeah, it's so confusing.
That's why we ask when we meet someone, how old are you? So if they say, you are older than me, well, something we can guess when he or she was born.
Ah, understand. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
James,
James.
very
Yeah, very interesting.
that is very interesting. The concept of on the 31st, December 31st. So the concept of born December 31st, and then the next day is New Year's,
Uh-huh.
and you're already 2.
Yeah. That's why when they go to elementary school, some was born in January and some was
Yeah.
born in December. So their height is very different. So the mothers worried about when the kids was born in December. Oh, she will be very tiny in her class, tiniest in a class or something,
Wow.
something. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So in Australia, how do you go to school? The kids, the semester begins in September, maybe
What is this month? July.
July.
They go back mid-August.
So the so the kids go to the elementary school when they
Yeah.
become 6 or 7 years old. So after the birthday.
So usually at the age of 5 or 4, between 4 and 5.
So early.
So depending on when your birthday is, for example, say you're 4 years old
Uh,
and your birthday is, I have to get this right now. You know what? I have to use my head. If you're 4 years old and your birthday is after July, if your birthday is in August, after August, you can start school.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I turned 4 in August.
Mm-hmm.
I can start school. I don't need to wait till the following year.
But if your birthday is September 5th, you can't go to the school. You should wait 1 year.
No, you can still start school.
Ooh.
If your birthday is November,
Mm-hmm.
no, you
Mm.
can't start school.
Mm,
You
mm,
need to
mm,
wait
mm.
till January.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So all it is you basically go to school. For me, I think it's a good idea because the children get to interact with a lot more people.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for their social skills,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they would have matured already by 4 or 5 months compared to other children their age.
So maybe our Korean ancestors think the embryo, the
Yeah, I
baby, the embryo is already as a human. Maybe they
Yeah.
think that's why after give birth, 1 year old.
And they already assume that the child is absorbing or learning while
Mm.
the fetus stage.
That's why we have the culture that during the pregnant time, we should do that, we shouldn't do that, we should eat that, we shouldn't eat that, some things. We have many
Yeah.
rules. Yeah. But young generation, some people doesn't do that, don't care about that, but
They don't
some
care.
people care about that. And that's the maybe the new things for the Western culture people. Mm. Mm.
I think, personally, my opinion is that as time moves on and we as people think outside of the square, our cultures change. Our culture slowly changes. For example, Korean, younger generation now, they want to change things, change some customs and change the way that society thinks.
Mhm.
And that's how we as a country grow. We as a country are dependent on the younger generation to make changes for us as older people. So when the younger generation doesn't like it, us as older generation will think, oh, let's make a change. Let's change now.
Mm.
So that's how most countries evolve. For example, global warming,
Mm-hmm.
that started with the younger generation, not older generation.
Mm-mm. Mm.
So the younger generation together, through social media, told the world, can we change? And then all of a sudden, we as adults, the older generation, started to listen.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. some things the younger generation is good, some are bad.
Yeah.
I don't always agree with this.
Yeah, Korean young people make new Korean world.
Yes.
New Korean
Yes.
word. So I sometimes I don't understand the Kakao talk. So what's that meaning? it's no in dictionary. What's that? But yeah.
Yeah. I understand that. That's like wanna, gonna,
Uh-huh.
wanna
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
was never in the dictionary when I was young.
Really?
Yeah. So
Ah.
that word came about in the mid 80s, late 80s.
Really?
Yeah,
Ah.
it was inserted into the Oxford Dictionary around from I think 1993, 94, I think from memory, was placed into the dictionary. So when I tell the younger generation that word didn't exist, they look at me like, "What? Are you stupid?" I went, "What?" It's a fact. It was never part of the dictionary.
So about you, you said you study Korean just because it's the hardest word in the world. One of
One of
the
the top five.
top five.
Top five.
Is that just that reason?
Yeah.
It makes you I want
Yeah. I can do
really?
it.
Yeah, wow.
I can do it.
I never met like you because many foreigners have interest learning Korean. It's because of K-pop or K-drama
Oh,
or K-movie, but you are totally different
no.
because it's difficult. I want. Wow.
I want hard. I like it.
Yeah. And all the time, did you have an interest about learning languages? Maybe.
Oh, that.
Mm, mm.
Um, my mum speaks 7 languages. Nunaga, same thing. She speaks 7 languages. Because my mum was raised in a Catholic church, so in her time there was no school. You just went to church for education. So education was, I think, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Those were the only days of church or Sabbath. So Wednesday and Friday was what we call, got the word for it now. I think it's like holy, something holy. I forgot the word. There's a word for it. Anyway, so the priests at my mum's church were, one was Catholic. One was Roman, Italian. One was Italian. One was French, and the other one was Spanish. He was from Spain. So they were all from Europe. So they didn't speak English.
Mm,
So they taught their language and passed it on to my mum.
mm.
So my mum can speak all those languages. She can speak English plus my mother tongue.
Mm.
So learning languages is fun. I enjoy it. It's a good way to meet people.
Mm. Mm. I like
Like,
it. Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you learning any other language? Do you learn any other language? German?
I studied in Germany, so I had to study German and a little bit Italian and French and Japanese. But I don't know, but I don't have interest learning Chinese. It's very close to even, but I don't have interest. And
Yeah,
my daughter studying Spanish over 100 days with the Duolingo app. So for my daughter, I started to learning Spanish too. A
wow.
little bit.
Nice. Yes,
Spanish,
yes.
Espanol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm.
So I can't remember my Japanese. Eigo ga wakarimasu ka?
Uh-huh. Japanese.
Yeah. I don't. I only studied Japanese for 1 week.
Why?
So what I did is I tested the languages.
And was not difficult enough for you? Too easy?
It was too difficult.
Too difficult?
Yeah, so not too difficult, but so in the level of say difficulty, I would put it at Mandarin, Cantonese, Arabic, Japanese, and Korean at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
So Korean was the easiest to learn because it had what's the word? Not the word. It had less vowels and nouns, I think,
Mm-hmm.
to create a normal sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Now Japanese,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't read it because there's no spacing. in their
Yeah.
grammar.
The hiragana, the alphabet is there's no
Oh my
no
gosh.
rules.
No,
The
that's a
Korean
nightmare.
is ka and ga and go, gyo, but they don't have the rules. Why
They don't-
this letter
yeah.
and this letter is so different?
And then Cantonese and Mandarin is too many characters.
Ah, really?
Yeah, so to learn, because I like to
And
read as
Mandarin,
well.
yeah, maybe more 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, too
So
many.
to create a normal, just a simple conversation in Mandarin or Cantonese,
Mm.
you have to at least know 100 characters.
So I asked
least.
a Chinese friend, how can you send an email with the keyboard? And can you imagine? It's one of
Yeah, how do they
but
type that?
do you know that? Don't you
Yeah.
know? If they
How?
say type some alphabet, they showed more 10 or 20 words is the most famous, most common using the letter is in the first lines. So
Yeah.
they choose that. So they take time. But in Korean,
It's like
you
English.
know,
it's
the
just-
Sejong King Sejong
Yeah.
made this letter. It's very it's about maybe 500 years ago he created, but even now with the
Yeah, no.
digitalization is very easy.
So funny. So funny. It's much easier. I mean, like Korean is much easier.
Yeah.
Like how long have I been at it? 9 weeks now. I've been studying Korean, and it was just easier to read because it had like a simple alphabet structure for the vowels, which is for me much more similar to English. That's how I found it much easier.
Maybe next time for you, maybe you pick some longer dialogue would be better, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I was thinking is, I will
if you have something, you can send me.
Yes. So I will send you a dialogue. I'll snapshot it.
Yeah.
And then send it to you, and then my 30 minutes we can read that. And your 30 minutes we can.
Yeah.
We can do that way.
Yeah. That's fair.
I don't know if you can put that on screen. Like if you were to snapshot it.
If you send me the photos, I can see with my iPad.
Okay.
So and I can open it and I can just see here. Yes.
That works for us. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. And how will you? Will you print it or if I send you? If you don't have books, you have tablet too. Okay, good. Digital people.
We think the same. We think
yeah.
the same.
Yeah. Wow.
No, cool. So you just send it that way. I'll download it and then.
Okay. So maybe your wife is already at home. Maybe she's waiting for you.
She's actually here. She's
hi.
She's on that side. She's
okay, she's shy. I know.
Yeah.
Hi.
So she's like.
Yeah. Sorry.
She's alright.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's okay. Like I said, this is like our personal family time. So so when she finishes work, we tend to like sit and talk for maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Wow.
always.
Wow, wow. How long have you been married? Can I ask you?
30
30?
years. 네,
Sorry? Not
네.
13?
30.
You are just 6 years older than me.
19.
You married very early.
19.
Maybe
19.
19. Whoa!
Okay.
Wow.
Here's the funny. I'll share my story with you. Okay.
Yeah, maybe next time you can.
I'll explain how we knew each other.
Wow.
We've known each other a very long time.
Wow, wow, but still you talk with her after she came back home
Yeah.
in 2 or 3 hours. Wow.
Always.
So
We've
lovely.
we always make time.
Wow.
But it's okay. I mean, like, that's why I say sometimes, like, one day of the week is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if we study it, she doesn't mind. You know,
Okay, we can see on Saturday 9 o'clock and you're 10
10
o'clock.
a.m.
And
Yeah.
maybe the next time we can meet in the evening.
네.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank
안녕히
you.
계세요.
네, 고맙습니다.
네,
네, 들어가세요. 안녕.
안녕.
네.